Let's go.
It's another K-Town beat.
YouTube. This your boy, Mr. Outliner. I'm back. Look here, man. The great debate is does a high taper does it come with a C cup? Or does it not come with a C cup? Or can it be both, right? What determines a high taper from a low taper? Now, right here, I'm cutting the bulk off. He wanted to knock it down, so I went against the grain with the 3 guard right here, and I did that because when the hair is so curly, going against the grain will help you to get it even for the most part, and because of the curls. So you want to go against the grain. When you go against the grain, it kind of makes everything even. And so then I came back with my 1.5 guard right here, and I'm just going with the grain, just following the regular flow pattern of the hair, right? So you want to use the 1.5 to go with the flow pattern, and then also you want to use the 3 against the grain to get everything even and knock down the bulk. Now to the taper. See here, for me, this is a high taper already, right? Because it's above the ear. The fade is gonna go above the ear, all the way above it, right? So my first guideline, to me, in my opinion, is telling me what type of taper is gonna be. Because if I wanted to be a low taper, I definitely wouldn't start my first guideline there, right? You see that? That's what I'm saying. It's above the ear, right? So that's what my next guideline gonna be right here. I'm trying to show you up there, and then up some more. You see how high? That's a high taper, right? So even if I put the C cup line on it, it's still a high taper. The taper is still high, right? But I understand that you can have a taper with no C cup, a high taper with no C cup. So I think it's both, actually. So right here, anyway, I come back. I got my 1.5 guard, and I'm just really knocking some bulk off. And normally, I might come with no guard first and do it, but for some reason on this video, I decided to use a 1.5. And that's probably just to show me kind of like where I want the fade to sit, or I probably was thinking in my mind, I'm gonna show them this. I can't remember my exact thoughts at the time, but I could probably say that that's probably what I was trying to do. So this is my half guard right here, right? And so now I'm stretching the skin, and I'm working that bottom guideline out, but I'm still creating another one as I go up. But you see how high the taper is already. This is a high taper. It's above the temple, so we already going into the high taper zone, so, and it's only gonna go a little higher, especially once I knock that bottom line out, like what I'm about to do now. So there's no guard on here. So the main thing when you fading, taper, drop fade, low fade, light fade, whatever fade it is, you're gonna make a line or take away a line, make a line, take away a line until everything blends in. So that's what we did. You see the line that we made, we cleaned out that bottom line. So you can see all the bulk that's left, but you see what we're doing right here, we just getting it clean. So once I start knocking the rest of that bulk off, you'll be able to see how the taper is gonna lay. And then actually when I go back and put the line on it, everything will really come together good. But that's that bulk right here that I was talking about. So we just want to clean that part up. Also, make sure you use your trimmers, just to make sure you get, the rest of that first guideline out, because we use the shaver in the beginning just to get it really close. So what I'm gonna come back with now, this is probably like my 2 guard. Sometimes when you have hair like this, you have to use bigger guards, so be careful. You want to see how everything is gonna lay. And I'm really just using the corner of the blade right here. So using the corner of the blade just helps you to blend better. And I say this in all my videos, but somebody might be new to the channel, or you might just need a refresher. But I use the corner of the blade a lot because that helps with blending, right? When you use the whole blade, then you create more guidelines or lines, period, right? So you see me, I'm using the corner of the blade. You see how high this taper is, right? Is this a high taper? Make sure you tell me in the comments. You know what I mean? You can wait to the end and see where I put the lines at and all that, and still determine if it's a high taper or not. And then I work my way down to the 1.5 again. I'm going all the way back down the steps that I used up. So, and actually hitting the front. So the 1.5 is what we laid the hair down with. And right here, I came with my product, my detailing mist. And I put it on early because it'll dry up, and by the time I'm done with the other side, it'll be ready for lining. So I just did this ahead of time. And my detailing mist is just, makes the hair stay in place. Like, see, I comb it in and now it's gonna stick to that style. So when I go back in and I get ready to use my trimmers, it's gonna be nice and crisp for me. So on this side, we do the same thing. The exact same pattern. You want to go above the ear. You see what I'm saying? So like I said, to me, this is already a high taper, so you come with that first guideline, use your trimmer, make sure everything gets, close, clean, use the shaver, clean them up, make sure that's right. Then on the other side, you want to use the 1.5, just like you did, on this side, just like you did on the other side. Use the 1.5, go up halfway, try to create another guideline, try to clean up the bottom one, the exact same steps. So the system is the same on both sides, and I always tell you that. So you want your approach, you want the system, and you want the execution. And right here we're using the half guard because we just working the bottom line out. And once that's done, you come back, no guard, you clean that line out also, that bottom line out also, and you have the look that you're looking for. Then after that is just clean up part. You just take out the bulk and with it, and smooth it out the way that you think it needs to be smoothed out. But I'm gonna speed it up a little bit, and then I'll show you the back of the back of the taper and show you how to work that and get the look that you're looking for there also. So quick tip about the back. I thought I was recording, but it actually wasn't recording. But we took the exact same steps, but I can show you the part where I realized I wasn't recording, that I'm recording back. But so you getting rid of that first guideline. You can clearly see where I made the first guideline at and how high it came up, like right underneath, the back of the head, where it starts to curve or go in, right? So you want to bring the taper up kind of high, but not too high. You want to leave it right under the hump of the head. So you want the fade to sit there, and you want everything to blend in. Now getting the bottom line out, it's the same thing. You go no guard, and then you kind of use the same thing the same tool that you use to make the guideline, you use that to take it out also. So you see how the taper part is coming along. So the only thing I probably need to do here is kind of do a little cleanup work, clean up some of the bulk. You want to stretch the skin, make sure that you're going against the direction of the flow pattern of the hair. That's gonna help you out a lot. Using the corner of the blade like what I'm doing right here is gonna help you out a lot too. So a little clip over comb for the bulk if you don't feel like getting your guards out. So the back works exactly like the same. So I just hate that I didn't get it from the beginning, but on the next video I got you. But it's the exact same approach and the exact same system to get the desired look. You just have to adjust how high up you go, or where you start your first guideline on the back. Now for the edge up, like I said, we already been spraying detail and mist on it ahead of time, so now we ready. And you just start from in the middle, like we say. He's a little thinner on the left side of the screen, more full on the right side. So you want to pay attention to that part. And when you're doing a lineup, just take your time, kind of just try to go straight across as much as possible, right? And work one side to the other. So that's what we're doing right here. We're just working one side to the other side. And when you get to this point, you just want to take your time. You see, like, his hairline is very thin right here, so you don't want to push him back, but you still kind of want to give it that look. And I'll use enhancements here on this haircut just to make it look a little bit more full, because I think a little bit of enhancements will make this haircut really pop, right? So you see that I didn't push him back. It's still a crisp line, still nice. You know what I mean? You see where the taper rate is high, in my opinion. You know what I mean? But like I say, you might feel like it's something else. You might feel like it's just a regular taper, whatever. But I go ahead and I put the C cup on it, and you see you can make sharp lines with this detail and mist. It'll help you out if you want to get a certain look. It doesn't clog up your clippers. That's the thing that I was worried about. When I would buy a hair product to do this same thing that mine does, but it'll clog it up. But anyway, I kept everything natural. You see how crispy it is. No enhancements here. This is just natural. And you see how it came out. So you don't always have to like push the hairline back or anything like that to get a sharp look. It's just taking your time and knowing where to put it, and also using a product that can help you achieve that. And that's what I created right here. I got a product that can help you achieve that. Now on to the other side, we do the exact same thing. So we work our way from the middle again and work our way over till we get to the other side. The exact same thing, so nothing changes. The steps are always the same. You just do from one side to the other. And remember, just on the sides right here, like this right here, just take your time and tap it. You see that? Like, it's easy to make crisp lines with no enhancements. Again, I come from that era where we didn't have that. So you have to learn how to make a sharp line or appear to be sharp without any help. You know what I'm saying? Not even with like the product that I have. I didn't even have that back then. You know what I mean? So things have definitely changed and evolved and made it easier to create some of these looks that you're getting today, on Instagram and things like that. And on the C cup, you just take your time, use the corner of the blade, get it really sharp, get your motion together. Now, hey man, like, the taper, it's high and it's not high. It could be higher, So for me, I think I might call this just a normal taper, right? Let's call this a regular taper. It's definitely not a low taper, but it could be a normal taper, right? So I wasn't for sure when I started the haircut what it was, but you know, once you start your guideline kind of high, then you know, to me, it's a high taper. That you could look at it now and be like, oh, this is like a regular taper. So yeah, so the difference in high taper, low taper, if I took the C cups off, somebody might say, oh, that's a high taper. If I leave the C cups on, now you're looking at it, you might be like, oh, that's just a regular taper. And you know, it's definitely not a low taper because it would be a little bit lower than that. But it's either regular taper or high taper. But I think without the C cups, you probably would be like, oh, it's a high taper, because I would just fade out a little bit more of the bottom where the C cup is. So I think here I wanted to give him the C cup look though. I didn't think his haircut would look right without it. So I manipulated how I blended towards the edges, right? I didn't want to fade that all the way out because I wanted to create a certain look. So after that, I come back, after I put hair fiber on it. You see what the hair fiber did? It made everything pop just that much more, right? You come back and you use the detail and mist to lock in the hair fibers, right? Right, that's what you want to do. So again, here, watch where it's thin at, and you see where I'm putting the card at to help me guide, but I only want hair fiber right there, right? That still looks so natural, and that's what you want. A lot of times you can get hair fiber in and people feel like, hey man, you know, it doesn't look natural and things like that, but I made it look very natural, you know, because it only take a little bit. It doesn't take a lot because you only filling in the light spot, right? Just to match it to the full spot. And that's what I did right here. So like I said, you can come back, you can use the detail and mist to spray the hair fiber to lock it in. That way, like, it won't come out easy at all. You know, he can go run his errands and do everything, and it won't be everywhere all over his clothes and things like that because it's locked in. So this is the final result. This is the haircut we got. You know, you can line up the back of the haircut. You can even use the detail and mist on the back of the neck to help you get even more sharp lines. So hey man, and these detailers are the truth, you know what I'm saying? So this is the haircut. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. If you're not new to the channel, make sure you turn on your notifications. I don't know if y'all getting all these videos I'll be putting out, but just in case you think you're not, make sure you turn on notifications. But don't forget, like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. You know how we do it. Until next time, love, peace, and hair grease.